Hey guys, I hope you're all having an amazing day. I want to make this really quick video just quickly talking a little bit about my thoughts on the future of Halo Infinite. I will go ahead and expand on this in the future and talk a lot more in detail in more upcoming videos, but for the moment, I thought it would just be a good time to just kind of ramble a little bit about what I think is going to happen with the future of Halo, particularly with Halo Infinite, but it could also bleed into some other areas. But let's just talk about the big news that's, well, obviously came out in the last week. That is Bonnie Ross leaving, getting fired, however you want to put it. Obviously, she stated that she was leaving because of family medical reasons, but a lot of people have been speculating that in reality she's been fired, and that's just a nice way of letting her go. And that's pretty common in not just the video game industry, but any industry that has kind of CEOs and studio heads and things like that. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about whether or not I think Bonnie Ross did a good job or anything like that. But what I will say is that a lot of people have been really toxic about it, really sending her kind of like super terrible hate messages, I guess would be the best way to put it. And I don't support that. To be honest with you, I don't know Bonnie Ross well enough. And I certainly don't know how well of a job she's done managing Halo. There has been statements that she's made in the past that made it sound like she was really a Halo fan and that things were going to go really good. However, you do have to kind of take a lot of the responsibility because she is the studio head. She is the one managing all of Halo. You have to take some responsibility for some of the failures that have come out with Halo in the past. What has it been? 10 years since 343 has been developing it. I mean, Halo 4, they've been doing it longer than that, but Halo 4 launched in 2012 and we're in 2022 now. So it's been 10 years pretty much of post Bungie era Halo, and there has been some mistakes. And I'm not saying that all of them are on Bonnie Ross. And to be honest with you, I'm not even saying she did a terrible job. I think this is something that's more of a topic I would discuss at a later date. But you do have to take some of the blame since you are the head of the studio and things haven't really been fixed over this time. Big takeaway there, though, is that there is a shakeup at 343, and it's probably going to be for the better. I'm not saying getting rid of Bonnie Ross is just going to fix everything, but the truth of the matter is that when things like this are happening, when people are on the chopping block, new talent is getting either promoted from within or coming in from outside. The shakeup is ultimately going to lead for mostly positive things for Halo, in my opinion. That's not always the case, but I think in this particular case, it will be because the shakeup isn't just a shakeup of the game's not selling well, let's bring in new management, which is out of touch with the fans and things like that. Rather, kind of the opposite. The fans have been really in an uproar, and Microsoft has really just seems like they finally have taken notice to the point where they're really taking action on it. And hopefully, if they do their job right, the actions that they're taking are going to actually end up being a net positive for Halo, not just Infinite, but the franchise as a whole. I mean, realistically, it's a miracle, or not a miracle. It is a mystery how the Halo TV show ever got greenlighted with a script like that. I mean, honestly, as a huge Halo fan, I don't understand how 343 greenlit that. I don't get it. And I know that TV show is not solely on Bonnie Ross. People like Kiki Wolfkill was involved. So we will see who's going to be sticking around at 343 and who's going to be promoted in the coming future. And that's probably going to be within the next couple of months that we're going to see all of these new positions get filled and created too, because Bonnie Ross' position is not just going to get filled by one person. They're going to break it up into multiple positions and have people fill it. So that is huge news, and I think it's honestly going to end up being, like I said, a net positive for Halo as a franchise. And it's not necessarily anything personal against Bonnie Ross, but it is saying that there's something wrong at 343 and things are starting to change. Is it possible that she really is just leaving because of a family matter? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, no, there's no way. This is obviously just her trying to save face or anything like that. I'm not going to say that. But what I am saying is that it is pretty obvious that there is something going on at 343 in terms of leadership getting moved around and Microsoft probably trying to fix this studio to be a much more lovable studio, I guess would be the best way to put it, because it's not necessarily just sales numbers. I'm pretty sure Halo Infinite is probably performing as good as they can expect, but more along the lines of something Like, they need to protect this IP. They need to make Halo a much more likable franchise, not just to new customers, but to the original fans. That is part of the problem that happened with Halo after after Bungie left. There was such a push, which is not unique to Halo. Every movie, book, video game franchise out there has had this in some point where some executive think it's a good idea to make the game more appealing to a wider audience and ends up screwing it up and just absolutely takes away everything that makes the game special and ruins it just completely. I'll just put it that way. You guys probably get what I'm saying, so I'm not going to really ramble on much more about that. But either way, there's a shakeup at 343. We know that for a fact. What we also know is that Forge is right around the corner. The Forge beta is coming out soon. It's not going to be going away. And Forge is another thing that has been really massive in terms of generating hype for Halo Infinite. And I don't want to underplay it. The honest answer is that Forge is going to be really huge for Halo. And a lot of people are just talking about, like, you can't rely on Forge. There needs to be other things going on. And that's absolutely true. But Forge is not just a game mode or a new map that's coming out. It is a toolbox that is going to expand on Halo. Everybody who is talented at Forge, which there are plenty of, trust me, you can see plenty of videos online of people making excellent examples of what can be done with Forge. They're going to be creating content for Halo, which is kind of sad because it's not their job to do that. I mean, it's wonderful and awesome that they have the ability to do that, and I'm not saying that these people don't enjoy it. Obviously, they enjoy doing that, which is why they do it. But I am saying it is a little bit sad that we have to rely so heavily on the community to create content instead of the studio. It seems like they're getting a grip, and by them I mean 343 at this point, getting a grip on fixing all the issues that are causing them to be so slow in creating new content. So things do seem to be getting better at the 343 level in terms of them being able to create more content for Halo and start to make the game really feel like a live service game. But on the fan made side, the people are making Forge maps and game modes. It's just beyond amazing, and that's going to be so huge for the game. And then the other huge thing that will really play a huge part in Forge is a community playlist, somewhere where you can go in and do searches for community or for Forge lobbies and things like that. I am drawing a blank on the actual word for it, but essentially where you can scroll through all the different hosted servers of people just hosting their own either Forge maps or custom game modes that you can all play together, and you can just join that server and play with everybody because it's hosted by the community rather than it being a private lobby. I'm drawing a blank on the actual name for it, so I apologize for that. But that is going to be huge for not just Halo Infinite, because people will be able to actually have that more social and community aspect and play things that aren't necessarily that big in multiplayer, but are huge still for the game itself. I mean, I remember in the Halo 3 days, and so on too, but I really remember it mostly in the Halo 3 days where there was so many times you're getting invited into custom game lobbies to play zombies or whatever the custom mode was. And that was huge. That was massive back in the Halo 3 days. Obviously, the player base is different nowadays. Let's just be honest. The marketplace nowadays is different. People don't value things the same, but it hasn't gone away. That particular aspect of video games is still very popular. I mean, especially among Halo fans. Halo 5 had a community playlist that you can go find a match through. And it wasn't there at the beginning or at the launch of the game, but it was popular. And even with a dwindling player base that Halo 5 had, you were still able to find matches that way. And it was really fun. And it was just so huge for the game. So it'll be even bigger for Halo Infinite. I really do believe that. And Forge is going to be an absolute massive part of that. But the last kind of touch point I want to talk about is that we kind of pretty much know there is a battle royale in the works. And to be completely honest with you, even though many Halo fans, including myself, have been very critical about the idea of a Halo battle royale, for me personally, and I know not everybody, I don't speak for all Halo fans, but for me personally, it was more like, can we please just get the game right instead of focusing on a battle royale mode? And this was even before Infinite launched. I mean, there was comments out there about like, oh, the only BR we're interested in is the battle royale. And obviously things changed. Battle royales are super popular right now. Let's just be honest. It would be massive for the player base. It'd be massive for the franchise. If they can get a battle royale mode right, it'd be huge. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, it will really bring in a lot more players. It'd bring Halo to a lot more, being in a lot more relevant position, I think would be the best way to put it. It would be massive for the franchise and for the game as a whole. Now, when and how good the game's going to be when the Battle Royale mode launches is like another story. Who knows? But we pretty much know at this point through game files and leaks and things like that that it very much looks like they are working on a Battle Royale mode. And I'm excited for it, to be honest with you. As a Halo fan who primarily focuses or likes mostly the arena style gameplay, you know, team ranked and smaller maps, not like these I love big team battle, but like not like a Warzone map. That was my biggest focus when I was thinking about a Halo game that I would absolutely love. But now that I got that, I do enjoy playing ranked in Halo Infinite, by the way. I know a lot of people love to be negative about the game, but I still play Halo Infinite every day. I love this game. But with that being said, even someone like me who's not probably the prime audience for this Battle Royale, even someone like me is super excited about it and will probably play the hell out of it. So that would be one of the... I know right now we're focused heavily on like Forge being the savior of Halo Infinite, and it kind of is. But it's not going to be just the only strategy or only aspect that's going to really revive Halo Infinite. When the Battle Royale mode does come out, which probably is not, like, it's not going to be anytime soon. But when it does finally come out, that will be another huge factor into making this game very relevant and very beloved by many, so long as they can get all that right. I know a lot of people are going to put it in the comments as a joke, but also not joking at all. Really expecting 343 to get this right, but my hope is that it will be. I've never been a 343 hater, to be honest with you. I think that they can pull this off so long as they're able to kind of manage their issues. You know, I know there's a lot of issues with the engine, which is causing a lot of technical issues, but if they can overcome those hurdles, I absolutely believe that we can have an amazing Battle Royale mode, and Forge will also be great, and just the game as a whole will really improve upon it. I don't want to go too much deeper into this topic because, to be honest with you, I can talk a whole lot more about it just rambling on and probably saying the same stuff over and over again, which might get annoying. But I will make more videos in the future just talking about this stuff and maybe breaking certain aspects down one by one, like a whole video on Forge. But for the moment, I want to make this quick video just to kind of give a general idea of what's going on in my head in terms of what I see for the future of Halo. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I can ramble on more, like I said 1,000 times already, but to stop myself from rambling, I'm just going to end it here. So one last time I'm going to say it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an amazing, great day, guys, and I will see you all later.